Buddy Bear new podcast. I almost said news. I am your hostess, Scant Soup or Soup.
We call you Soup.
Okay, Soup. We're having this discussion again.
My name is Mr. Mogsy. You can call me Mogsy, whatever you like. But this is the BuddyBears. BuddyBears podcast is plural because you said Buddy Bear.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm
well,
not
I
trying
am
to
a
jingle
Buddy Bear, so.
my rings. Welcome back. Last episode was pretty cool. We did our first episode, kind of a trailer, a little teaser of what is to come of this series. And there's some chip eating in the background here. We'll try to keep our chip eating and our ASMR as you gotta stop that.
I don't think they can hear it, to be honest.
We'll try to keep the food eating ASMR on a down low, unless you guys like that kind of stuff, which I mean
that can be our next
our next episode, just eating. No. So updates from the we'll start off with updates from our last podcast from the
episode
news.
1. Last episode.
Last episode I talked about the update for Call of Duty Season 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Season 5. Came out on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
This past Wednesday, and was pretty gorgeous, I gotta say. I haven't done any battle royale in Warzone. I've only played the free to play weekend multiplayer. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's just like the last season. I mean, they brought new stuff. It's not really that new. I mean, there's not really much to talk about. It's fun. So
I haven't really played it yet. I haven't gotten a chance to play any Xbox
because you're a weenie.
No, that's not it.
What's the Apex Legends news?
There's a new character coming out called Rampart. She's interesting.
She looks ugly.
Yeah. She's not the cutest.
Me and Sheila are ready to fight. So it's so weird.
I don't really know what's going on. There's supposed to be a new map supposedly called Olympus. I think it was what it was called. There's no update on that. Apparently, we're still in not Kings Canyon, World's Edge for the next update. But
yeah, it's just if you guys have seen the trailer, if you haven't, check out the Season 6 teaser trailer for Apex Legends. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't like Apex Legends or you've never heard of Apex Legends, I suggest checking it out because it's some pretty good art style and some pretty good animation anyway. So if you just want something to watch,
and they always have really good songs in their trailers.
I guess. I didn't like the "Hungry Like a Wolf" remix. Hungry like a wolf, you know?
I don't know, I don't remember that.
The Duran Duran song. Well, whatever. It looks good. The trailer, the teaser trailer looks good, and everything else looks okay. But the new character is just, I have mixed opinions on it. I don't hate the voice acting, and I don't mind the
animation,
where she comes from, wherever she comes from.
We don't really even know anything about her.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, what else did we talk about? We talked about Halo. Mm-hmm. I still think Halo is going to be the sexiest game this year, and Master Chief is going to be dummy thick. Are you eating another chip? I heard that. I bet that's going to play into the podcast. I heard that. Anyway, Master Chief is gonna look so good. What are you doing?
Chewing really quickly.
Stop chewing. Stop eating chips. We have a podcast to host here. Let me talk about Master Chief here, okay? John 117, Sierra 117. Please, for the love, check out the Halo Infinite trailer. Just search up Halo Infinite on YouTube. Search all that up. Play the Halo games. That's the biggest request I can make out of anybody who listens to this podcast.
Halo always comes through with the good stuff.
Not always.
Most of the time.
No.
For what I know,
Halo Nightfall was an okay show. Halo 4 was interesting, but didn't live up
to its expectations.
It didn't really. It was a new play. Shoot, how do I phrase it? Now we're gonna talk about this. What the frick? Our setup's coming apart.
Just leave it.
Wait. Now there's a rogue pin somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the bed. Leave it.
Anyway, I really don't want to talk about this. Halo 4 was...
Okay, then don't.
Halo 4's art style was kind of okay. And then Halo 5 came out and the story was poop. And the multiplayer was poop because everything was pay to win. At least for what is it called? Warzone, believe it or not.
The look you gave me.
Believe it or not. Just Halo 5 was a flaming pile of poop.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some decent things about it, like the Forge and the custom games, but whatever. I highly suggest everybody plays or tries to play. If you ever get the chance, play Halo. But we're gonna move on because I'm gonna be sitting on this topic for years.
What would you say is the best Halo so far? I'd say Reach or...
Halo Reach is good. It's a tie between Halo 3 and Halo Reach.
Yeah.
For me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
ODST would go up there, but it didn't have any multiplayer. Anyway, final thoughts on this topic, on this bullet point or whatever, the news update. Stop eating chips, please. Highly suggest if you ever get the chance, try out Halo. And if you ever have the chance to play it in order, you can play the campaign. Definitely do that. She's trying to munch some chips down.
What do you mean?
I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Okay.
News. Gaming news. I think it's mostly going to be gaming. What?
Never mind.
We're not going to start that yet.
Yeah, no. I got you.
We got to get through certain topics
I got you.
We're talking. We're discussing.
Yeah.
Quit scratching the dog. So in our little setup, our little janky setup, we're sitting in this extremely small space with blankets all over as soundproofing, and then now we got
a dog.
Our tiny dog, Minnie.
Which is her name, Minnie. She's not just Minnie. Her name is Minnie.
We'll call her Tiny Man.
No, what? Call her Minnie.
Because she looks like a little bearded man. She's just being weird. Anyway, back onto the podcast.
Weird looks like she's a pervert. She's like, she rolls her eyes up.
I know. I live with the dog. Anyway, gaming news. I got a few things. PlayStation apparently... Stop eating chips.
I didn't do anything. You can't hear it.
PlayStation will apparently cost... I mean, this is just a claim. I'm getting this from notebookcheck.net. Apparently, the claim is that the PlayStation will cost more.
I don't doubt it.
But perform way worse than the Xbox Series X.
Definitely heard that one. I'll stop. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't think the PlayStation is as good as everybody claims it to be.
Yeah.
Or at least compared to Xbox. But Xbox is really good. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like because it's a gay station and all.
Don't you have Xbox news?
There's supposedly leaked pictures for the upcoming Xbox Series S that'll come out alongside the Xbox Series X.
I didn't even know they were making an Xbox Series S.
Yep.
Another cheap Xbox.
It's not officially confirmed yet. I don't remember what they're called. When somebody part of the Xbox team said that there's a lot of new things coming out in 2020 for Xbox.
Yeah.
So be excited. They didn't officially confirm anything.
Well, the second Xbox drops something, we will be probably one of the very last to talk to you guys about it. But I'll try my best to keep you guys updated for those of you who even care. And if you don't care, it's just fun to hear about stuff.
We will try our best, not you.
Something big that's been happening for the past month or two.
Yes.
A famous streamer
I know who
on Twitch,
yeah.
Dr. Disrespect, was banned.
He was banned, and nobody knew why.
Nobody knows why. Twitch won't tell anybody.
But it happened around the time that they made that statement that it was something about people that have assaulted or something like that. I actually don't really know the specifics, but around that time he was banned and everybody was like, oh my gosh, Dr. Disrespect did something so evil and so wrong, and everybody was jumping to conclusions. But
so a very popular Twitch streamer who if you guys you probably don't know him by name. He's the guy that has the mullet, the headphones, and those really cool glasses, and he's got that mustache going on.
Really cool glasses.
He's got some cool glasses. Because that's how I recognized him.
Yeah.
When I'd see clips, and that's the only way I knew about him. I didn't really know his name, but he apparently got banned Nobody knows why. He was pulling in, let's see, what was it? 500,000 viewers at the time. I think that was he was. This is the article I'm reading. Apparently, he was at 500,000 viewers. When he was live, and then he got banned.
Yeah.
The last thing he said. The last thing he said he was going to say about it was, "Let the legal professionals do what they need to do. That's it." So everybody's speculating. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?"
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of a big deal, especially for streamers, because imagine Ninja just one day just gone.
Well, there's a lot of streamers that I've noticed haven't been really as popular, like Ninja and Shroud and.
Well, I don't even.
I think it's because they're not really.
I barely watch
right
Twitch.
Now, yeah, he's like a loser like that. He doesn't watch Twitch.
I'm not a loser. I don't have time to sit and chat and watch people game for like 6 hours straight.
I do it when I'm just. Well, because YouTube, with the whole quarantine and everything, nobody's really coming out with the best content. So I think it's fun to watch streamers instead.
Anyway, so that's all I got, but feel free to look in more into that. It's pretty crazy. Pretty cray topic, but apparently he's streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's been getting some views over there, so or on here, because we're on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all we have for the news. And next topic, last time we talked about Star Trek versus Star Wars. This time we're talking, should TikTok be banned?
Yes.
Or nah, fam. So I'm going to let you state your opinion. I'm going to pull up an article real quick.
I don't know. I feel like TikTok isn't that crazy of a thing. Although the whole thing about China listening in and watching us, even if we're not on TikTok, just because it's downloaded on our phones.
Yeah.
That is definitely a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the people in military have TikTok and stuff, and they're like, oh, at least ban people that are in the military from having TikTok because they make TikToks all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, but I don't know. I know that somebody was trying to buy TikTok,
so I thought it was Microsoft or something.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I don't really care, to be honest. TikTok can be a really It can be a really toxic place because the cancel culture and everything.
Yeah.
And anything anybody does that could be even a little bit taken out of context, well, the cancel culture will be like, oh, you're done. And then people just start getting hate. So I think
do you think it should be banned or not?
I think it should, unless Microsoft buys it and something like that, then I think it's fine.
I just think it should be gone. It's cringe. It's absolute cringe. I don't like TikTok. I just don't. It's Minnie. Quit cleaning your paws, okay? It's not time to be cute. We're debating stuff here. Anyway, I think TikTok should be banned. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
When Musical.ly was a thing, it was super cringe.
He was part of the Musical.ly
We're not going to discuss the past, but except for the fact that Musical.ly was cringe, and I mean, it was okay, and it's kind of like Vine. How Vine died, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, rest in peace, Vine."
But it's like you can still.
Vine was one of the greats, so on and so forth.
You can still look back at Vine and be like, "Oh, that's funny," but if you look back at it Musically, it's like just these. Then
it's like you can wear my sweatshirt, but with TikTok, it's like Musically decided to not die or to become a zombie, and now we're just beating a dead horse or something like that. It's just I really don't like TikTok.
Well, you don't have to like it.
I know. Well, the thing is like, just because our generation has grown up with cell phones and grown up with technology.
Yeah.
It comes with a lot of mental problems, and I feel like people get so attached to devices.
Yeah.
And using texting or social media as a way for getting what is the term? Human contact or whatever, human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that draws a lot of anxiety out, because then you got kids who don't understand how to do basically anything in public,
Yeah.
except for shop and just be awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I really don't. I'm not a big fan of social media, which is ironic. But and I wouldn't mind if it's become such a. There's more negatives than there is positives, but I just feel like TikTok is so cringy. But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I could care less if it's alive or not, if TikTok stays around or not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really miss Vine because those
were the days.
Those were the days.
I was barely even alive long enough to remember anything.
2016 was the year that was the worst year for everyone. I mean, 2020 is now kind of topped that, but Logan Paul was a thing, a big thing in 2016. Vine died. Musically was bumping.
Musically was popping
off, and then TikTok became a thing or whatever. But in my opinion, I wouldn't mind TikTok to be banned, mainly because I know kids are staying up. People in my generation are staying up, and
it's an addiction.
And it's like going to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning because they're watching TikTok. It's a distraction.
Because it's just you sit there and you keep scrolling. It's so easy just to scroll on to the next video. Wow. Okay. And it's so easy to scroll on to the next video. And
all right, we're moving on to the next subject.
Up. It's so easy to scroll to the next video and not be like, oh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Let me go to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, even me, who I'm not usually on my phone a lot, just because I don't like being attached to the digital world, and I try to distance myself, unless it's video games.
Unless it's texting
then I'm
people.
Sucked in. Then I'm texting people.
Yeah.
Well, that's just keeping updated with people. If I'm like conversing with somebody, like I'm trying to pretend that they're here or something like that. Yeah. Can you stop?
Keep going.
Anyway, yeah, I just give us your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think TikTok should be gone? I mean, it's already a few days after they said it was going to be banned.
Yeah.
But I still have it downloaded on my phone. I don't know if that's just me being a epic cool hacker boy, or if that's just because nobody else, or just because it hasn't been banned yet. But do you think TikTok should be banned? Do you like TikTok? And
are you addicted to it?
And tick. TikTok. So now for the meat of this episode.
The core discussion.
Dungeons and Dragons.
D&D.
And why you should play Dungeons and Dragons. At least give it a shot.
Well, okay. First, let's say what Dungeons and Dragons is.
Dungeons and Dragons is a storytelling. Oh my gosh! Is a storytelling experience like no other. I mean, there's obviously other versions of it. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, basically, how I describe it to people is when you read a book, you are following along in the story and the narrative that is being told to you, and you're going through the life of these characters and the scenarios that they're going through, and you're reading about it. So basically, you're using your imagination to create the world that they're in through what you're reading.
It's like
with Dungeons and Dragons. There's a person called the Dungeon Master who is basically reading you the book, but you are a player in that book, and you are controlling where you're going. It's basically like a choose your own adventure, but with a lot more free will.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit extra, like there's dice that are involved. There's a little bit of math. It's nothing like Algebra 2 or something like that, or college grade calculus.
It's just adding. It's just you roll a dice and then you add some things.
I feel like it's a really good way for adults and teenagers and kids to really continue growing their imagination and keeping it strong, because creativity is one of the strongest things in this world.
Yeah,
aside from love.
No, because like for me, really, people say reading books is a good way to, grow your imagination and everything, which is true. But if you have difficult time sitting down and actually reading a book like I do a lot of the time, I feel like D&D is also a good way to deal with that and continue to grow with your imagination and everything.
Yeah. Why do you sound so shy?
I'm a little shy girl. No, I don't know.
Don't ever do that again. That was so weird. Anyway. Dungeons and Dragons. If you if you think it's let's say for those people, a lot of drama is surrounded Dungeons and Dragons. People think it's demonic.
Yeah.
It can be, if the person telling the story puts in demonic things.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. Like when I run a campaign, it's the only demon-like things in the story is it's like Doom. You're set out to kill them.
Yeah.
You're cleansing the world. You're basically being a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes demons. Who likes demons? Demons are weirdos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But if that's I mean, I feel like that's a big concern for a lot of people. That was for me.
Yeah.
Especially inviting friends who might be like, I don't really like the demon stuff. It's like, no, it's dragons and peasants and knights.
And it's not called Dungeons and Demons or anything. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
It's kind of like Pokemon. How like parents would back in the day would be like, oh my gosh, you know what you know what Pokemon stands for, right? Pocket monsters, pocket demons, or whatever. I don't know. There was some sort of excuse about it, but
yeah.
And basically, it was just, you know, you got your dog inside of your computer, and you throw out that little ball-shaped computer. It spurts out whatever. Basically, you're like, you have a pet and you're setting it to fight against your like neighbor's pet.
I know what Pokemon is.
I know, but I'm describing it for other people. If I were to describe it to a parent, it'd be like, yeah, basically, your dog Sally, yeah, fight my duck.
Okay.
Winner gets a Boy Scout badge.
I just wanna like, there's creatures in the game and you train them and.
Well, I'm talking about the card game or whatever. Just growing, it was so weird how people
dare put that in your mouth.
I want a chip, man. But yeah, I feel like the discussion with Dungeons and Dragons is people get a little like, oh, this is a little scary.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be. It's all depending on who you choose to be your DM.
Yeah.
But I highly suggest it. It's really fun, and it brings out a lot of laughs.
How were we introduced to Dungeons and Dragons?
You don't remember how we were introduced?
No, because I don't remember. I have the worst memory.
We have a cool mom
in the world. Yeah. Okay. I know our mom used to play Dungeons and Dragons when she was younger.
We just have a cool mom. She introduced us to it, and then I kind of went out, searched for a little bit more content. The content.
And then we. Okay.
And then we basically.
We made a group with our best friends.
Yeah.
And then that grew to add a few more people, and now.
If you don't know how to play, I highly suggest you go to a you search on the internet for some sort of local group. You can do it over. I highly suggest going over Discord, especially with the Backstreet Boys concert going on right now, the Bud Light.
Yeah.
Because you know on YouTube apparently people are getting censored.
Just threw that on the carpet.
The chip went on the carpet.
Yep.
Crap. Anyway.
He keeps grabbing chips, putting them close to his mouth, and then setting them back down in the bowl.
Because I'm scared. But yeah. I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather read a story about a guy killing a dragon, or would you rather be that guy who jumps on the dragon, takes your long sword and slashes the back? Your long schlong and beats the dragon.
Glizzy.
Don't do no. I mean, just think about it. Think about it, and it involves a lot of character development. You learn a lot. You learn a lot from playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you feel like you're bad at storytelling or bad at writing stories, this can definitely help.
There's also a thing like people are like, oh, you gotta voice act, you gotta act, and it's like acting's a big part of it, but you don't necessarily have to voice act if you don't want to. You can stick with your own voice and still, play your character, which is what I do most of the time.
Another thing to keep in mind is don't be afraid of
to act stupid or do silly.
Acting stupid, being silly, but also don't be afraid of finding a group and it being completely boring.
Yeah.
Because there are groups, there are dungeon masters who have no clue what they're doing, or it's their first time. You just got to give them a break. But usually you want to find a good dungeon master, and if you're trying to be a dungeon master, for those of you who do play D&D,
don't wing it.
Don't wing it. If you do wing it, only wing the parts that aren't really important. That aren't going to be super
have
drastic. If it's like
have a goal,
figure out the narrative, figure out what your players need to do, because if you're just like, so y'all are in a bar and you meet up, what you doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an ale.
You gotta.
The ale's for sale.
You gotta give them options, and
a guy walks in.
Sometimes you gotta.
He starts beating you.
Sometimes you gotta push them in the right direction. Don't like let them wander around for too long either, because that'll just really drag it out and make everybody bored.
Yeah. If you want any good sources or you want to learn a little bit more, I suggest searching up stuff on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There is a group called Critical Role, and they're a little bit more advanced. So, and I only watched them when after I played, because then I understood a little bit more. Because I feel like if you just watch it and you've never played the game, you're not gonna understand much. But it is fun.
They've made videos too of like how to play D&D and stuff. Yeah. And there's also an animator that's like how to play a barbarian.
But yeah,
like
I mean, we're just nerds. If you really want to become a nerd, you really want to get into the sweats of
D&D.
Of if you really want to be a nerd and develop better imagination skills, Dungeons & Dragons is a good source. Or just read a book.
Just read it.
There's good books out there. Yeah.
But it's definitely also an amazing way to grow closer with your friends. Can you stop licking my fingers, please? Okay.
She licked your finger and then looked away as if
it didn't happen.
As if it never happened. What are you talking about? Anyway, that was a Discord notification because we're so famous.
All right.
I think that is all that we have for Dungeons & Dragons. We are going to have some guests. Not sure who's going to be on first. But
hopefully.
I can't wait to have somebody join us and to have a good old discussion and laugh. But podcast updates. Let's bring in the podcast updates. We are on Spotify, or at least that's the first place. That's one of the few first places it will be uploaded to. Yeah. If you really don't like YouTube and you just want to listen, I keep grabbing the chip. If you really... I can't think right now. I got chips on the mind. Hold on. One chip.
My mouth was watering waiting for that chip.
Okay, it's pretty good stuff. Anyway, so some updates. The editing process for... Oh my gosh. The editing process that goes into making a podcast.
It's crazy.
At least as what I was trying to do with the bars at the bottom for YouTube. Just look at me. They're gonna hear the chips.
I bet you they didn't hear that little part. I wasn't.
Oh, whatever. But the audio waves, the bars, for YouTube. If you're watching on this on YouTube, you're probably not gonna see them because that was the pain in the butt. Editing is quick for the podcast.
Yeah.
The only pain in the butt was those bars because I kept having a processing problem or whatever because it would export, but it would never. It would cut out like the last 10 minutes of audio.
Yeah.
So then I'd have to chop that off and then go to the timestamp where it was at or where it ended and then process from that point, which it did that multiple times. So that was a pain in the butt. But I put in a lot of work to this, so please share and enjoy.
And if you have any tips to help him out with that, that'd be useful probably.
Well, I'm just going to cut out the audio waves until I figure out a way to do it properly.
Okay, if you have any tips to help him out with that.
I don't need tips. I don't need help.
Yeah.
I'm an independent man.
But yeah, we're on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and
speaking of Anchor, if you follow us on Anchor or listen to us on Spotify, these will come out a day earlier if you want to listen ahead. But if you want to be a part of the premiere on YouTube, Sundays, usually at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or not Eastern, Central Standard Time, Central American Time, whatever Central.
And to get updates on when we actually do finally post.
If it's 3 p.m. in Iowa, we will be uploading.
And when we do finally post the podcast and all, you'll get updates if you follow the Instagram.
Yeah, if you follow us on Instagram at BuddyBears Pod, not podcast, just BuddyBears Pod. There will be links in the description to a Discord, to Anchor, which is a podcast streaming service.
Yeah.
But yeah, there'll be links, and if you just want to search it up right now, that'll be BuddyBears.
Feel
POD
free
podcast on Instagram. But
yeah, it's pretty cool. I know, it's crazy.
I was really trying not to let out a Godzilla burp. I breathe fire. Anything else you got?
No, I don't think so. It was pretty cool. We got a few people saying that they enjoyed the podcast we had,
which is great.
Yeah, we're making it longer because
we don't need them. We're gonna go on to bigger, better things.
No, we're gonna make it longer because like an hour longer, hopefully.
An hour longer?
No, wait, which is
an
hopefully.
Hour 30?
No. An hour, which is probably how long this will be, or 30 minutes longer. Because I said, oh, 20-something minutes isn't gonna be long enough. You're like, no, it's fine. And then
we did 25 minutes.
20-something, which is what I said.
Whatever.
And then, people were like, oh, you need to make it longer. So, obviously I was correct.
So, yeah. Also, we don't have as much news going on right now, just in pop culture right now, because there's nothing newsworthy. There's nothing good. Mm-hmm. There's not much to talk about.
Yeah.
There's
no juice.
There's no juice. There's no meat. So, what? There's no meat.
The Glizzy
fandom
is growing. Big time.
We're not talking about Glizzies. Actually, that could be our topic. No, we're not going to talk about that. Maybe next.
Maybe when we have a certain guest on one day.
Yeah, no. Maybe. Because I feel like if we get that certain guest on, it'll be really weird.
It'll get really uncomfortable real quick.
If we talk about Glizzies. But yeah, there's not much news happening in the gaming industry or pop culture history. I mean, the only thing noteworthy is theaters are going to start opening up around us soon, so we can watch movies again.
Mm-hmm.
Like at a place.
At a place.
And then school's
opening back up
for a lot of people. Yeah. Because kids got to go to school. The fact that people were like, we're gonna die if we go to school. Wait, we're not gonna get into politics, but gaming.
He's so against getting into politics.
I just don't want to get into politics.
Well, it's us.
This is a gaming podcast. I mean, the only politics we probably talk about is do video games make kids violent?
No.
Are you sure?
I feel like that makes them a lot more negative. I don't think it makes them violent necessarily.
But, yeah, so what I do want to talk about, though, is mobile app recommendations, mobile games to play in school to make your teachers mad.
So boring.
To not make teachers mad, or yourself.
You should get TFT, which is an amazing app.
Teamfight Tactics, now for free. Add me, Mr. Mogsley. I need friends to play with and people to beat, because I have a hard time winning against ranked.
Me.
No.
I beat him so many times.
Steal your characters.
He did that last time we played, and it pissed me off. But I still beat him.
You said the piss word. We're gonna get flagged.
No, we're not.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't say the piss word.
Yeah.
So Teamfight Tactics is number 1. Angry Birds is the next one. Plants vs. Zombies. You guys gotta love the classics. But if you want some new stuff, Brawlhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Brawlhalla. Oh wait, that is on mobile. Yeah. Brawlhalla's on mobile.
When?
It's on the Play Store. We only have Android because Apple is not good.
Wait, since when?
Since like last week.
I'm getting it. I didn't know that. Tell me.
Actually, I don't know if I want to suggest that one, mainly because
Brawl Stars is good.
Because you only play against, it's cross-play only.
Cross-play, okay.
So, like, you're on mobile while the guys you're fighting is on PC.
PC, which is a lot difficult.
Which is, yeah.
It's like playing Fortnite against people on PC, which I don't play Fortnite. But
we don't talk about Fortnite here.
Fortnite is a banned subject on this podcast from
Don't even speak its name.
Poop Night.
No. But yeah, Brawl Stars is another good one. Quit, quit staring at the dog. Brawl Stars is another good one. Call of Duty Mobile is another good one. If you want something easy, then download one of those like cheap whatever. I can't think of anything right now. I can only think about chips.
I really want to eat another one.
Okay, final topic to talk about for this podcast for episode 2 is who will win the console war? PlayStation versus Xbox.
Xbox, obviously.
Console war 2020. Place your bets, people. Who do you think is going to win? PC does not count because it's not a console. Okay, PC's master race. If we included them every time, every year, there's no winning for any of the there's no competition. So help me if you say PC, I'm not gonna do anything.
Well, you're banned.
You're banned. Cancel culture.
You're not a fan anymore.
But yeah, Xbox versus PlayStation. Because I'm an Xbox simp, I'm obviously gonna go for Xbox.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna go for Xbox because they're coming out swinging with just the sheer totality.
I thought you said a different word.
Did you think I swore?
Yeah.
The sheer totality and strength of the Xbox is unmatched. And just the fact that it looks like a mini fridge should not deter.
Yeah.
Should not make people be like, oh well, PlayStation's gonna win because it looks like a freaking alien.
Also, PlayStation buttons I don't get either.
Did I say Xbox or PlayStation? I don't know.
You said PlayStation.
Anyways, yeah, what?
The buttons on the PlayStation I don't really like. I like that there's actual letters on Xbox controllers.
The buttons?
Yeah,
You think Xbox is good because of the buttons?
No, I just think that's a bonus.
What?
It's a bonus.
They should just not have any...
I have a friend that uses PlayStation that went from Xbox to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she doesn't like it because, the buttons are different. Anyways.
That's like a whole different...
They're
not going to change
I get picked on.
The O button to the B to turn into a B on PlayStation.
I think Xbox is going to win. PlayStations are called gay stations for a reason.
Yeah.
People are not going to like that.
We're gonna trigger some people. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Place your bets, people. Don't kill each other. And if Xbox does win, there will definitely be
a huge celebration.
A huge celebration on this podcast. And if Xbox loses,
then that's stupid.
What determines if they win or not? How do we determine which console wins? Is it sales?
Yes.
Number of sales?
Number of sales.
I don't know. There's a lot of PlayStation stands.
Which is weird.
So they might actually win. Only because they simp hard for gay station.
PlayStation sales and Xbox sales after the Xbox Series comes out.
Yeah. Once both consoles are released, I guess the winner will be... Man, that's gonna be tough. I guess we have to go with sales because there's no... You can't really, Google search how many people like the Xbox.
Yeah, you can't be like, is Xbox liked more than PlayStation?
Who's better? Yeah, so... and then Switch... Who talks about Switch anymore? I mean, really? They had Animal Crossing. Now they got the Pokemon games. So
I feel like Switch is a fun little thing to play, but it's not like a commitment like Xbox.
Switch is like as wholesome as the Wii was. You can have people come over
and just play.
You can have friends, just have fun.
I feel like
but if you're trying to be a hardcore gamer and you're looking for a hardcore console, then definitely get the Xbox.
Or a PC.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish our bowl of chips. And we hope you guys enjoyed listening and sticking with us as our dog stares us in the eyes, trying to be cute, trying to take away our attention, and it's working.
He's wagging your tail. It's adorable.
But yes,
thank you for listening, everybody.
Did you just interrupt me?
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of BuddyBears News, whatever the crap it's called. Thank you for joining us today.
I don't want to get political or anything, but peace out, Girl Scouts. Alrighty, thank you for listening, and feel free to check us out on Spotify at BuddyBears.
Anchor, YouTube. They'll be premiering the episode on YouTube on Sunday around 3, hopefully.
3 p.m. If you live in Iowa and it's 3 p.m. on a Sunday, we'll be uploading.
Enjoy that.
So, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to share, like, subscribe. Do all the things.
Yeah!
All right.
Share this with your friends.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.